Now let's once again start of the measure of correlations. So in our earlier chapters, we have studied about what is the meaning of univariate distributions, either bivariate distributions, either variable distributions. Now we're going to start with the what is the meaning of correlations. So correlation, nothing but a simple definition like that. It is a relationship between two variables of series that is called as. So that changes in the value of one variable are associated with changes in the values of other variables. That is called as correlation. Simple definition you can keep in mind, relationship between two variables of series. That is called as correlation. Right? Now then, in the other words, when two variables vary simultaneously and change the value of one variable is accompanied by the change in the value of other variable. One variable is changing, automatically another variable will be changing. So it is a comparison between the two variables only. So it is a simple term of correlations. Again, let's see different definition given by the different authors, statistical authors. Let's see different definitions. According to the Connor, he said, if two or more qualities vary in sympathy, so that movements in one tend to accompanied by the corresponding movements in others, then they are said to be correlated. It's a relationship with the other variables. Now, let's see what is the meaning of again correlation and causation. Causation means that one variable cause another event to occur. One variable cause another event to occur. If any event is happening, then it will be affecting on the other event. So that is called as causation. Causation correlations. Now, correlation analysis helps in determining the degree of relationship between two or more variables. See, simple once again. Simple definition. What is the meaning of correlation? Basically, correlation analysis helps in determining the degree of relationship between two or more variables. That is called as correlations. First of all, we understand the main concept. What is the meaning of causation? Variables either correlations. So first of all, we understood this concept, and then after that, it becomes this concept. So, however, when two variables move together, it does not necessarily mean that one variable causes the other to occur. It does not mean like that causation correlation, because in this concept, it said when two variables move together, it doesn't mean it different variables. Both are coming together with mutual consent. But when we are separated different variables, so that time you can compare between the two variables. Two variables are totally separated and different segmented. But on another case, when both variables are coming together, it could not be like called as a variables, right? Because they are coming with consently. Suppose correlation does not tell us anything about cause and effect relationship. This is why it is commonly said that correlation does not imply causation. See, the main point is that correlation does not tell us anything about the cause. It tells us only relationship between two variables only, two or more variables. Right? It helps to compare between two or more variables, but it doesn't mean it is helping to you for the finding out anything cause behind that, right? So if there is a correlation between two variables, it may be due to the following reasons. See, if there is a correlation between two variables, for what are the reasons? It will be called as there are two variables. Due to the reasons are, suppose effect of third variable. Here is having, suppose I'll show you, with after showing with the writing form. Okay. Ah. It is possible that high degree of correlation between the two variables may be due to influence of third variables not included in the analysis. Example, high degree of correlation between the yield per acre of rice and jute may be due to the fact that both are related to the amount of rainfall. See, this is the effect of third variables. Third variable is your rainfall, right, which is affecting on the yield of rice as well as jute, right? But in reality, none of the two variables is the cause of other. In this case, we cannot say due to this variable factors, this factor is affected. Both are different variables and both are affecting due to the reason of third variable factor, right? So that is called as effect of third variable factor. Now, in the other case, what is the meaning of mutual dependence? When two variables show a higher degree of correlations, then it may be difficult to explain which variable is influencing the other. I'll repeat it again. When two variables are showing a high degree of correlations, in this case, it's a very difficult to explain which variable is influencing the other. Example, increase in price of commodity, increase in its demand. Because both are high. We cannot say why demand is increasing and why we cannot say why price of commodity is increasing. Because both are changing with a very high degree correlation. Example, again you can take a simple example of gold. Nowadays, gold price is rising day by day again, but demand also is rising day by day. That is called as mutual dependence. Once price is increasing, automatically demand will be increasing. That is called as another factor of correlation between the two variables. Now can you guess it why day by day gold price is increasing? Because people feeling that in future maybe gold prices will be again increase.
Yeah.
Right? So that concept is called as mutual dependence. Either, but it is also possible that increase in demand of commodity due to growth of population, maybe this kind of reason will be considered. Either, maybe other reasons will be there. In the at the time of your dad generation, at the time of my generation, and at the time of your generation, cloth wearing choice is different, right?
Yeah.
When I was in college, so that time just but jeans pant and jeans set was entered into the market. At that time, demand was very very less.
Mm.
But nowadays, no one wearing formal pants and formal sets. They are using only jeans.
Yeah.
Why? Price also increasing, as well as demand also increasing. It means this will be considered as the other reason. It will, as well as simultaneously population also is increasing day by day. It means population also increasing and other factors also affecting again, demand also increasing. There is no affecting on the demand of the jeans pant and jeans wearing of jeans pant and jeans sets. It means this concept is called as mutual dependence correlation between two variables. Now, third one is that pure chance. The correlation between two variables may be obtained due to sheer coincidence, that is called as pure chance, sorry. Such correlation known as spurious. That is, so while interpreting the correlation coefficient, it is essential to see there is a likelihood of any relationship between the variable under study. Let's understand with the example. Suppose we may get a high degree of correlation between two variables in sample, say size of shoes, income of people in a locality. Example, when the fact does not exist in relationship. These kind of factor, does not exist, and they are not showing any kind of relationship with the demand and the correlation. Because I'll repeat again this example. We may get a high degree of correlation between two variables, right? But in which case, in a sample it means what? Say size shoes, size of shoes, income, of population in a locality. So when in fact there does not exist any relationship, there is no relationship of the size, income of with another variables.
Okay.
That concept is called as pure chance. So correlation analysis provides only quantitative measure and does not necessarily signify the cause. Basically, correlation, it helps to finding out the quantitative measures only. It does not help to cause the effect of relationship between the variables. What are the reasons behind that? This variable is affecting on the another variable. This kind of study is not happening in the correlation, right?
Yeah.
Generally, relationship between two variables is a particular nature. Obviously, you can when you compare with Sandeep sir with your ex-faculty, both are different variables. So in this case, you can measure or teaching quality, but you cannot predict. You cannot say Sandeep sir teaching is good either bad due to the reason of. You cannot find out the cause. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
You can compare with others, but you cannot find out the cause. Why it is effective and why it is less effective. So this kind of concept is called as pure chance, in simple terms. So in the other case, you can say there is significance, either importance, either benefits, either advantages. You can say anything of correlation. First one is that the correlation coefficient helps in measuring the extent of a relationship between two variables. Correlation, it helps to study correlationship, either relationship between the two variables only. Now, correlation analysis facilitate understanding the economic behavior and helps locating the critically important variables on which others depend. Second point, important point. Third one is when two variables are correlated. When two variables are correlated, then the value of one variable can be estimated. If you have two variables, then you can find out the estimated values also. If you have if you have an iPhone along with Samsung phone, now in this case there are two different variables. So you can estimate the price of the both products at the variables. You can compare. We can correlate. Now correlation facilitates the decision making in the business world. So correlation, it helps the businessman to take a decisions about their business, because company are going to take decisions on the basis of comparison basis, correlate basis only. After the correlate with the different variables, after at the end of day, at the end of conclusion, they will come to know which proposal, either which factor is better than this factor. So it reduces the range of uncertainty as predictions, because we are going to study on the basis of practical, practical variables only. Now, these are the important significance of correlations. You can keep in mind only whatever I highlight, whatever I highlighted over here only. And then types of correlations, positive and negative correlations. So when two variables move in the same direction, when two or more variables move in the same direction, either you can, that is, when one increases, the other also increases. You can, we have studied this example. Increase in price of commodity, increase in demand. This is the example of positive correlations. When one variable increasing, another variable also increasing. So this kind of variables at the directions is called as positive correlations. But in other case, when one decreases, other also decreases, then such relation is called as positive correlations. It means it could be happen anything, either increase, either decrease. But both variables are increasing, either both variables are decreasing. That is called as positive correlations. That is called as positive correlations. Relationship between income and expenditure, age of husband and age of wife, etc. These are the examples of positive correlations. These are the example of positive correlation. Let's see, understand with the basic of, on the basis of table. So now here is having increase in both the variables x and y, decrease in both the variables x and y. Let's see. Here is increase in both variables x and y. Here is having x, here is having y. 20, 10, right? But 30 and 10, 20. In this case, increased by 20 to 10, but in this case, decrease from 30 to 20. Both are positive correlations. Both are positive. In this case, x was 25 and y was 12. Now here is 25, here is 18. Positive or negative? Now here is increase from 10 to 12, 20 to 18 increasing, right? But in this case, decreasing from 20 to 18.
Yeah.
Right? Now 12 to 13, 18, 20 increasing. When one variable is increasing from 20 to 25, 25 to 28, 28 to 30, 38, 30 to 35. So other variable also increasing. Which one? Y1. Y1 was 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 13, 13 to 18, 18 to 20, increasing. But in other case, it was price was 30, it was 20, but it decreased, it is also decreased. Now it is also decreased, it is also decreased, it is also decreased, it is also decreased, It means what? Anything could be happen in the positive correlations. It could be positive, either maybe negative, other factors, other variables. So that correlation is called as positive correlations. I hope you understood up to this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's discuss about the negative. Now, in these negative variables, when two variables move in opposite direction, just keep in mind, boss, this one point only. Other variable is moving towards opposite directions only. It means x1 is increasing, y is decreasing. Let's see. In this case, X value was 10, it was 30. It's a totally opposite. Here is 12, here is 25. Here is 14, here is 20. Right? Now opposite means what again? देखो यहाँ पे भी once again. When one increases, the other decreases. Here is increasing from 10 to 12, 12 to 14, 14 to 16, 16 to 18, increasing.
Yeah.
But this one variable is decreasing, decreasing. From 30 to 25, 25 to 20, 25 to 15, 15 to 10. One is increasing, other is decreasing. Opposite directions. Both variables are going opposite direction completely. Got it?
Yeah.
But in this case, vice versa. The value of X was 50, it decreasing from 10, 50 to 40, 40 to 30, 30 to 20, 20 to 10. But in this case is increasing from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25. No, it's increasing and it's a decreasing. Opposite direction. Both are going to the completely opposite direction. Got it?
Yeah.
Is there any doubt up to this?
No.
No. Okay. Now, let's discuss about the linear correlations, non-linear correlations. Linear correlation is said to exist if the amount of change in the one variable tends to bear a constant ratio to the amount of change in the other variable. Let's see. I'll repeat it again. Linear correlation is said to exist if the amount of change in one variable, tends to be the constant ratio of the amount change in the other variable. Let's see how it changing. Here is having X. It increases from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Constant increasing by 10.
Yeah.
Right? And simultaneously another also is changing, but particular constant ratio. 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. It might increasing a constant ratio, 5 ratio. It increasing by 5. 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 5, 15 plus 5, 20. It means it is increasing by constant ratio. It is increasing by constant ratio. Right? That is called as linear correlation. Got it? Here is having y-axis, x-axis, y-axis. Linear correlations. It is increasing from 5, 10, 20, 15, 20. Increasing. Right? Now, non-linear either curvilinear correlation. In the non-linear either linear correlation, the amount of change in one variable does not bear a constant ratio in the amount of change in the other related variables. Now, one variable was changing with constantly from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. But other is not changing with the constant ratio. It is changing with different ratio. 5 to 7, 7 to 12. It is changing in different ratio. Got it? That is called as non-linear. Now, simple multiple and partial correlations. Now, simple correlation is what? When only two variables are studied. It is a problem of simple correlation. Example, relationship between the income and expenditure, price and demand. Only two variables are studied. Only two variables are studied only. Price, demand, right? Income, expenditure. income expenditure. Then multiple correlation. When the relationship among three or more than three variables is studied. More than three variables studied in this multiple correlation. And partial correlation, under this partial correlation, relationship between the two variables is examined keeping other variable is constant. Other variable was constant, but one variable are partially changed. Partially changed. Right? Now, types of correlation. This is the important part, explained in the diagrammatic format only. Whatever we studied up to this, it is presented in a diagrammatic formats only.
Yeah.
Right? Now, next part is that degree of correlation. What is the meaning of degree of correlation? The degree or intensity of relationship between two variables is measurement with the help of coefficient of correlation. Now let's see first of all perfect correlation. If the relationship between the two variables is such that the values of two variables change in the same proportion, maybe increase, maybe decrease. Correlation between them is said to the perfect, positive, correlation like that. Perfect, it means positive like that. Perfect, it means positive. We have seen that, earlier
But
part.
sir, it can be negative as well, right? Perfect correlation. It has to be just one.
Yeah, increase or decrease, anything could be happen.
Okay.
Increase or decrease, we are studying, in this part, na? Where
Yeah.
here only positive. In this case, both was increasing, and in this case, both was decreasing.
Decreasing. Okay.
Right? You can, refer this example for the better understanding. Now, zero correlation. When there is no relationship between the ratio variables, there is no relationship between the, variables. We say that there is a zero correlation. If there is no relations, there is no correlation.
Mm.
Right? There is no variables, there is no correlations. Right? Because it's absence of correlations.
Yeah.
Right? That relation is called as zero correlation. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, now having a limited degree of correlations, in the real life, economic data do not indicate perfect positive or negative correlation. It's a quite difficult because all data are not actual. Sometimes it's having a factual. That is why we cannot predict perfectly on the basis of statistics, in our practical life. Right? So at the same time, the case of zero correlation are also very limited. Let's see how. Generally, we find some limited degree of correlation between economic and variables. The value of correlation coefficient normally lies between one plus one and the minus one, positive or negative. If the change in two variables are unequal in the same direction, correlation is limited and positive. It means what? Positive, vice versa. Vice versa. Correlation is limited negative when there are unequal changes in the reverse directions. It's happening opposite direction. One variable is increasing, another variable is decreasing.
Decreasing.
Right? One variable is increasing, another example is decreasing. Both are happening with opposite directions only. Now, interpretation of correlation of coefficient. According to the Carl Pearson, this is the important point for the point of examination. Most of the times, numericals question will be asked from this Carl Pearson.
Yes.
The coefficient of correlation lies between the two limits that is equal to 1. If there is a perfect positive relationship between two variables, the value of correlation would be the plus 1. And one, the contrary, if there is a perfect negative relationship between the two variables, the value will be minus 1. It means R lies between the plus 1 and the minus 1. Right? So
Yeah.
this is the part of coefficient of correlations. So you can keep in mind this diagram. Perfect correlations plus 1, minus 1, negative. High degree of correlation between 0.75 plus 1, between 0.75 minus 1. Moderate degree of correlation between 0.25 to 75. This is the ratio is given there, degree of correlations. This is the degree of correlation is given here. Just keep in mind this table only.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do up to this. Is there any doubt up to this? No? Definitely.
Yeah.
How many days are left for the examination?
It's a week later, 7 days.
7 days. And we need to cover two topics in the one topic.
To mode as well, but it's only half of the chapter.
Which one? This one?
Mode.
Okay.
Correlation and mode is coming from statistics.
Okay. Okay, not an issue.